to the Knit Song Podcast. My name is Audrey, and this is my podcast about knitting, crocheting, dyeing yarn, sewing, and whatever crafty endeavors I'm up to from time to time. So, welcome. If this is your first time checking out the podcast, hello, welcome. Thanks for coming. If you're a returning viewer, hello, Princess Del Crochet. Princessa. Ooh, I love it. Yeah, welcome if it's your first time. Welcome back if it's not your first time. And yeah, this is my second live episode. I really liked it last time. It's way convenient for my fleeting weekends and my time management. And yeah, it's been really good. So I think I'm going to enjoy doing this again. Of course, I'm nervous. I'm going to say something stupid that I can't go back and such as so it's just good practice for normal living. Yeah. So, anywho, this is a podcast about all my crafty. Oh, thank you. It's just a fun episode. I've been up to lots of good things, and I can't wait to show you some stuff. Yeah, this is episode 24. I think last episode was the podiversary, as they call it. Sorry, I'm looking all over the place because I'm not used to doing live. So if you see my eyes darting around, that's why. But yeah, episode 23, I think, was the podiversary. It was 1 year. This is 24, and yeah, I'm excited. It's Saturday evening. The Olympics are on. I'm super excited about some skating, I think, is on tonight, which I love. So I'm so excited to watch the Olympics and do some knitting while I do that. It's been a pretty good couple of weeks. I mentioned last episode that I recently transitioned jobs. I'm a boring water drinker today. But I recently transitioned jobs, and that has been awesome. It's been really great, but I'm still learning just my new schedule. I'm getting used to the commute, trying to find which route I like best to get to my new job. Getting home a little later, trying to figure out dinner. Just kind of figuring out like when I'm gonna dye yarn. So it's just been good transitions, but yeah, it's still a transition. So it's been really good. Yeah, so that's kind of what I've been up to. But I'll share more of what I've been up to as I get into different segments. But I am going to start, my notes flopped over. Oh no. I am going to start with my works in progress. So, first things first, I am working on a flax light sweater by Tin Can Knits. I want to knit all of their patterns. Hi, Lindsay. Hello. I'm about to show one of your stitch markers. The same one that I keep showing. Yes, I am working on a flax light sweater with fingering weight yarn. I can't wait to wear it, but it's taking me forever. But that's okay, because this episode is called Shame-Free Knitting, and I'll tell you why later. Here she is. She's growing. Okay, so super excited. This is my Glacier colorway. This was, I think, Siren Song, and this new purple is my Crushed Blueberries. And yes, so divided for the sleeves, I've got about, I don't know what, like 2 or 3 inches here, kind of striping in the new color here. But I love it so stinking much. I can't wait to wear it. So I'm going to knit on this while I watch the skating tonight. And as mentioned, I still am loving my lovely Progress Keeper by Simply Serving, who posted the most amazing, and Lindsay, I'll talk directly to you since you're watching, the teacups. Oh my gosh, they were amazing. And the cakes, oh my gosh. And I think I missed them, but maybe I'm going to get on Etsy tonight and see if I can snag some stitch markers. But anyway, I love her stuff. So this is a little pumpkin cookie, my fave. Yeah, so I don't know when this will be done. as my episode title says, I am not going to shame myself over that. I'm just going to enjoy the process and see what this sweater becomes. So the yarn that I'm using now, I just mentioned I'm striping in this crushed blueberry colorway, and I don't know where I'm going to go after that. I think I might do black, or maybe go, instead of the blues, go towards the warmer side of this, like into a mauve. Who knows? Anything can happen. But that is my flax light. I just want to cast on like every pattern by Tin Can Knits. I really like their stuff. And other podcasts I've been watching have been saying the same thing, because they're really well written, and I don't know, they're just great. So I'm totally on the bandwagon for that. Yeah, so that's WIP number 1. Work in progress number 2. I laid out my stuff like really different today since it's live, because I wanted to be able to have a good flow. So we'll see how that goes. Work in progress number 2. I am working on a pair of socks for my husband. He finally wants something hand knit. And I just pulled out the wrong needle live. So I've got about 20 live stitches undone. Hold on one second. Oh, live is fun. And look at that. I saved them all. A moment of silence for the last 3 stitches. I did it. Phew. Okay, so I am knitting a very vanilla, like plain sock for him. That was exciting live footage. This is the needle I meant to pull out. Oh my word. But I am gonna pull these out. So I love it. I love the yarn, and I'll talk about that soon. But I want the heel to be contrasting. So what I think I'm gonna do is pull the whole thing out and do a golden orangey cuff, and then do this beautiful bluish colorway that I'm going to talk about in a moment for the body of the sock. The sun is going down here in Utah, so I'm going to try and get good lighting out of this situation. It snowed like off and on today, but cold enough to stick, and it's frustrating because I really want some snow, and we need the water. So anyway, this is yarn that I'm going to talk about in my dyeing segment, because this is Prince of All Saiyans. This is the first of my Dragon Ball Z inspired yarns, and this is inspired by the character Vegeta, but I'll talk about that more in a moment. But that's my second work in progress. That's going to be completely frogged. Yeah, I'm so excited. Yeah, so excited. Anyway, that's a work in progress. Like I said, I'm not using a sock pattern for that. I just cast on 64 stitches. I'm doing 2x2 ribbing, and I'm doing, hello, Fontrella, stockinette. So 2x2 on 64 stitches, and then stockinette once I get there. But like I said, it's gonna get ripped out, and then it's gonna get started again. That'll be good. Okay, that was WIP 2. Here comes work in progress number 3. I guess I'll do this one. I showed this colorway I dyed a while ago. It's called Alpine Morning, and I really like it. It's kind of subtle, but fun. It reads kind of, I don't know, neat from a distance, but it's got some detailing and some fun colors up close. So I had to cast something on with it because it was looking at it and I just had to. So I cast on another crescent shaped shawl. I'm actually gonna try and be good and write this pattern as I design it, because once I make something up, it takes me a long time to go back and write it, because it takes me going back and knitting it again. So I have a couple things that I want to write patterns for that I have knit previously, like my mermaid tail shawl, but it just hasn't happened. So I'm going to try and write this while I create the pattern. But I enjoy it a lot. It's on my Chowgu needles. These are 4mm red lace. And we shall see how this grows. I showed last podcast a similar shaped crescent shawl with some beautiful one-ply yarn from Yarn Cafe Creations. And I left that work in progress in my cupboard at work because one of the cool things about my new job is my department is full of crafters at lunch. How great is that? Speak about perks. And they're like the nicest people ever, and I love who I work with. So it's been great. But I left that project at work so that I could, yes, Lindsay, I love Chow Goose too. They are the song that I sing again and again. But yeah, I have left that project. So that similar shaped crescent shawl is going to show up again in the next podcast, probably because I have made progress on it, but I've left that at work as my lunchtime knitting. So that is a work in progress that's with us in spirit, but not in person. All right, work in progress number 4. I feel like with live, I feel like I'm teaching a class again. I gotta be concise and to the point, but maybe that's good. All right, I am slowly working on a crochet granny stripe blanket. I made a couple rows of progress. So the glacier colorway that I started off the top of my flax light sweater with, I did a row of that with my leftovers. And then I colorway that is right here. And this is the next stripe that I've been working on. So yeah, my hand a couple days ago, and so I actually switched. I'm right-handed, and at work I switched to a left-handed mouse day. So I was using my mouse with my left hand, and it felt so much better the next day. And then I switched for a couple days to crochet instead of knitting. And a ton. So that was really cool. So that's the other things that I've been working on. Pretty much that's it. I'm trying to think. My mom's socks have not grown much, and she's coming to visit, and I need to finish them before she gets here. But I do have my heel flap done on my vintage Christmas colorway. Hermione's Everyday Socks, another Simply Serving stitch marker. So this is the second sock. I'm getting there. It's going to happen. But I have to mention, I am having issues with anything less than a 3mm needle. I'm finding tension in my knuckles, and it's because I'm gripping too tight. So I just need to retrain my brain to do magic loop looser. I tend to hold both thicknesses of yarn as I work, and I need to just hold the one and just loosen up. Gotta relax a little. And that has been just not something I've been doing when I've been working on socks lately, is I've been really gripping them kind of tensely. So I need to stop that if I'm gonna finish these, and I'm gonna finish them. That's my last work in progress. Man, I'm blazing through content so fast. This might be a really short podcast, but that's all right. We'll see what happens. Okay, works in progress, closing, checking, and closed. Okay, I'm gonna move on to what I've been dyeing, and I'm so excited to share this because my husband is a fan of Dragon Ball Z. It's a Japanese cartoon that I had heard of, was never interested in, until we were talking with Tristan and Eric, Tristan of Girls in the Yarn Cafe podcast. We went to Comic-Con with them this past September, and we were standing around, and they were in their cool costumes, and we were just chatting about stuff, and Tristan was saying, oh no, Dragon Ball Z is like really good. I think you'd really like it, because Alex and Eric were talking about it. And I was like, that storyline sounds really interesting. I should try it. And so ever since then, I've been blazing through, well, it's not like we have a ton of time to watch a lot of episodes, but slowly, consistently watching through the different sagas of that show. And oh my goodness, it's so good. I'm not at all anti-animation, but I don't normally seek out animated content. But the story is just this is Vegeta. Now, Vegeta is a character who is stubborn, who is driven, and who is motivated, and who has lots of depth, but it takes them years and seasons to reveal little slivers of who he is underneath all of his gruffness. And that's part of who he is too. But anyway, great character, and this is my Prince of All Saiyans yarn. And this is it in bulky, which goes with his armor, which is mostly blue. So this is Prince of All Saiyans. Now, the main character of the show is named Goku, and his color scheme is basically I did the polar opposite of Vegeta. So here's Vegeta, and here's Goku. So together they look so great, and I'm so excited. Goku, this is Spunky Saiyan is the name that I came up with for this yarn because he is super optimistic and spunky and hardworking and really awesome and just very vibrant. And so I thought this would be perfect because his clothes and his colors are very much this. And the other reason I love these two together is because these two characters are like kind of like polar opposites, and they're literally made of the same stuff. They're both from the same planet, but they're so different in their approach of how they execute their purpose. And so that's why they're almost like the inverted color scheme of the other one. So Prince of All Saiyans and Spunky Saiyan. And I have these on bulky, and I'm going to do a shop update tomorrow, which is Sunday, February, oh my gosh, I don't know the date, that's a problem. I'll put it in the description box below. But today is the 10th, so it'll be February 11th. But I'm going to update it tonight, and I'll make it live tomorrow morning. But we'll have this in bulky, and then pre-orders in some different options for bases. So, Spunky Saiyan, Prince of All Saiyans. So excited. Okay, now, my favorite character of Dragon Ball Z is Gohan. Gohan is the son of Goku, and he is not trained. This has some spoilers, but I don't think there's a huge knitting crossover audience here, so I'm just going to spoil away. Goku's son is actually not trained to fight by him. Originally, you would think that he would train his son, but circumstances prevent it. So a green alien named Piccolo trains him. And Piccolo is very gruff and like angry and used to be villain, now nice guy. And Gohan is like very optimistic. I have never watched any show, read any book, and seen a character that I relate to more clearly than Gohan, which shocked me and surprised me, because, like I said, I've never experienced anime before. I'm not really a fan of the genre in general, but maybe I am because the first thing I'm exposed to, I love of it. But anyway, but Gohan is super optimistic. He's very gentle. He's afraid of finding out what he can do because he doesn't want to hurt anybody, but he also, I just love that character. I feel like I get him and he gets me. Long story short, too late. This is my yarn inspired by Piccolo and Gohan, and I call it an unlikely friendship, or unlikely friends. But Piccolo has and a big white cape and purple clothing. So this is a very subtle yarn. It's a very creamy, light green color. Pretty much cream mostly, and then some spots of like a really light green, and then it's got purple, different shades of purple speckles, and different shades of green speckles. So I'll open this up. It's kind of hard to see. I took some really good pictures of sunlight so you can see it really clearly, but oh, I love it. It's just got just a little bit of color, and it leaves room for the white cape that they wear, and it's just optimistic and happy looking like Gohan is, and it's got Piccolo's colors. And after being trained by Piccolo, Gohan chooses to wear his clothes because that's who trained him. Not his actual clothes, but anyway, his type of uniform. So this is Unlikely Friends, and I'm excited about it. Okay, so that's my third Dragon Ball colorway. My fourth and final one for now so far is actually inspired by a villain. So up until now, those have all been like main character hero types. The second saga is all about this evil alien Frieza, and he is white and purple and pink, and then he morphs and changes into different versions of himself. So he starts really pink and purple with a little bit of white, and then as he transforms, he gets like white with black and then white with purple. So anyway, I decided to capture all of those different incarnations of Frieza, and this is I've had enough of you, Frieza, which is something that Gohan says when he's fighting him, because Frieza's a bully, and bullies aren't cool. So, spoken like a former teacher, but it's true, right? Anyway, so this is I've had enough of you, Frieza, and it's got purples and lilacs and magentas and blues and blacks and grays and golds and good stuff happening. So that's my last of the Dragon Ball colorways so far. So I'm not sure that they go together. I kind of feel like these two might do something neat together, and of course I think these two would be amazing together, but I kind of really wanted them to be standalone and just what I felt about that character. So I'm totally fine with them not being like coordinated together, if that makes sense. But I do play together interestingly. So, woo! So excited. There's dark greens in here. Oh, I just love it. So, anyway, that is my Dragon Ball stuff. That's going to go up tomorrow morning, Sunday, February 11th, now that I know the date and I know what day it is. I'm going to update that all and get it all ready tonight on the computer. And then my Etsy shop is called Knit Song Yarns with no spaces. I should mention that. And I'll put it in the description box and the info for this video. But yeah, that's what I've been up to with the dyeing of yarn. So I'm going to move into gifts and patterns and things like that. So I mentioned Tristan of Dragon Horde Yarn and the Girls in the Yarn Cafe podcast. We swapped yarn recently, and I have shown it before, but she has this gorgeous color. How far I'll go. In fact, I think there's some in her shop right now. There might be. But it's this gorgeous colorway, and I love it so much. So I have a shawl that I've started of it and then ripped back because I want to do a different pattern. So I will show this hopefully next podcast. But then we swapped because I needed more of it. And so she was like, well, why don't you bring one of yours and we'll swap? And I was like, perfect. So we swapped one of these for one of these, and it was super fun. And so I'm so excited. But this is gorgeous. And this is going to be a shawl that is so springy and summery that I cannot wait to wear. But while I'm speaking about Tristan, I thought I would show a beautiful thing that she gave me, which she is a very, very generous person and very talented. But she has a pattern coming out that you might see on her Instagram for the Wonderwood beanie. And this is one of hers that she knit. And I'm trying to open it up and show the hat, but it's this gorgeous beanie pattern that I think the pattern just went up on Ravelry, or it's coming. If you look at her Instagram, Dragon Horde Yarn, you'll see pictures. She just did like a really cool photo shoot of it, I think. But it's gorgeous. It's got cables. It's got texture goodness in between. Oh, I love it so much. So, ta-da! This was a beautiful gift of hers, but I'm going to knit this soon because I love the pattern and I'm going to knit it. But it's called the Wonderwood Beanie, and it's gorgeous. So, anyway, thought I'd show that so you know that it's there and you should check it out. Other things that I'm going to put in my shop update. I totally have to go back to dyeing. I came out of that segment too fast. I'm going to put my Valentine's update that just didn't happen. I'm going to put conversation hearts for Valentine's Day in there. And I know it's like a week before Valentine's Day, so it doesn't have to be a Valentine's colorway. It can just be springy. But I'm still going to call it conversation hearts. So this will be in the shop. And Smarties will be in the shop. And I never named this colorway. So this will be under a certain name. I don't know what I'm going to name it. This was a different, this was my first idea for my Downton Abbey sock, Downton Abbey club this Christmas. It's a lot more plummy and black than my yarn turned than I wanted it to be, but I realized that I loved it. So I have a couple of these that were experiments that turned out gorgeous, but it's got a lot of like black and plum, kind of some wine color. But anyway, early practice incarnation of what ended up being, I can't even remember what I named my own yarn. Oh, Ask Me Properly, the red color. So anyway, this one, those that'll be in the shop. I have some sweetgrass that will be in the shop. It's greens with some blues and golds, but mostly a very cool green. Yeah, that will be there. Oh, I will have these in the shop. This is my Alpine Cabin colorway. So, yeah, that completes the shop update. There we go. Okay, going back to gifts and acquisitions and whatever people call that. I went to Knit Night the other night, which was fun as usual. Was great, and I saw and got to hang out with Laura of Rhapsody Fiber Arts. Oh my gosh, did I get that wrong? My notes are totally covered. One moment. I did notes on Post-its today, so they're scattered and they fell off. I was like, oh, I'm so cool. I'm going to put all my Post-its on the chair that the camera's resting on. And of course, Post-its don't stick to fabric, so one by one, they've all fallen. But yeah, check out Rhapsody Fiber Arts and Rhapsody Fiber, I can't speak today. I'm going to put a link to it in the bottom, but Laura is awesome, and she, we did like a swap table, and I somehow got some of her yarn that was on the table, and I was like so surprised that she was giving this away because I love it, and I was like, that's mine. Anyway, but this is her Degas colorway, and it's gorgeous. So I'm going to put a link to her shop. It's just these beautiful rosy tones of different shades of like a dusty pink, but a dusty mauve. I cannot wait to use this, but I snagged it on the swap table. So I'm going to have to look and see if I can maybe buy more. But anyway, she is awesome, and I'm going to put a link or mention the name of her shop properly so that you can check her out. She's so much fun to hang out with. Yeah, anyway, we have a really good time at Knit Night. Yeah, so I'm trying to think what else I did this past couple weeks. I think I read a great book, and that's why this episode is called Shame-Free Knitting. The Gifts of Imperfection by Brene Brown. Oh, hi, Catherine. You missed some yarn, but this will all be on my channel after it's done. So once I'm done streaming live, it'll be on the channel. But thanks for tuning in. So welcome. Yeah, The Gifts of Imperfection by Brene Brown. Such a good book. I listened to it in my car over like 2 days because it's a fast book, but so life changing. It's She researches shame, and I didn't realize that I had a lot of shame issues, and shame is different from guilt. Guilt is like I did something wrong and I feel bad about that, which is healthy and good. We should feel like bad things are bad. But shame is different because it's like saying that everything I am is bad. And so that's a gross oversimplification. But her book is about courage, connection, and compassion. And it's amazing. So please, if you're looking for something along those topics, check her out. Her TED Talk is like one of the most popular. Name's Brene Brown. She's awesome, and I love her. And she's my new BFF in my car for my commute because I'm listening to her book again. So it was that good. Anyway, so that's why I'm experiencing shame-free knitting, because even tiny things she talks about, how when we're frustrated with ourselves, we'll be like, oh, I should have done that differently. I'm horrible. And our conclusion to just something that we didn't do well or good is that we're awful. And so that's like the easy way out, is just to say, oh, well, I'm horrible. I can't do it. Anyway, check out the book. It's good. But I'm experiencing lots of growth and goodness from just her book. Yeah. So the only thing I think I have left to show is what I'm wearing, which is really funny because it's the top half of the dress I've been working on. So I have just a tank top and pants as a normal Saturday outfit. But I was like, I need to show that I made progress on this dress. So I have the first half. I might as well wear it. So you'll see it's not finished. This is just the bodice. But the skirt is right here. As I'm dropping all the things. And I've got it basted, and it's ready to gather. And so it's ready to be ironed once it's done. But it's going to be, I basted it, and so I'm going to gather it, and then that's going to get gathered to the bodice, and I'm going to have a dress. So it's coming along. I have made progress, and I'm going to do some of this tomorrow. I think I'm going to do some of this knitting in the afternoon. But thank you. Yes, the fabric, I should mention. The color totally grabbed me too. This is by Gretchen Hirsch. It's some of the Gertie fabric line, and it's rayon, and it's silky, and it's just wonderful. I like everything that Gretchen Hirsch does, just across the board. But this is the pattern that I'm using. It's McCall's M0540, and it's actually made for knit fabrics, but I'm not doing that because I wanted a drapey, flowy dress that was with this fabric. Now, as you can see, the neckline's a little large, so I think I might do something with that. I don't know if I'm going to add an edging, but it's so large, the size of, it's a big scoop, and I don't know, I'm short. So I think what's going to happen is it's going to fall off my shoulders, and that's going to be annoying. So I might add like a trim or something. But I'll see how this dress turns out tomorrow, because I just have the waist. I just have to attach the skirt to the bodice and then hem it, and I'm done. So I'm super excited. And that beeping is my dinner. I was experimenting today. Could I bake dinner and bake chicken while I podcast? And we're going to find out. But actually, that does bring me to the end of my content. I actually got through, I think, all of the little Post-it notes that I had written for myself. Yeah, so it's a shorter episode, but I just wanted to check in and say hi. I did want to also say that Dragon Ball Z themed update will be up tomorrow morning. And I'm super excited to put that out there on my Etsy shop. And I just wanted to say hello and post, and yeah. So anyway, I hope everyone's off to a good February. We have lots of fun things ahead with chocolates and Valentine's coming up. I love Valentine's Day because even before I was ever dating or married to my husband, it just, what's wrong with a day to celebrate cute hearts and chocolate. Like, that's just fun. So I always love Valentine's Day. So yeah, I hope everyone is off to a good February. I hope everyone enjoys the Olympics. If you're an Olympic fan, I'm super excited for the figure skating. Of course, I'm a fan of Shaun White, so I can't wait to see him snowboard again. And I enjoy, who's the other one? Oh, and there's a lake in the Olympics, which is really cool as a Salt Lake City citizen. Um, because of all the training that happens up in Park City and all the Olympic facilities that were built here in 2002 for those Olympics, it makes sense that it's kind of an Olympic city. So, a very Olympic city. So, it's going to be fun. Enjoy all the good stuff that's going on in the world right now. So, yeah, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching, and I will. Oh, please feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoy. I never mention that. Probably should. But anyway, those are just things that I never say. But yeah, hope you're having a great weekend, and I will see you soon. Feel free to leave a comment in the comments below and let me know what your favorite Olympic event to knit to will be, or if you're even into that. I'm super excited. Thank you, Catherine. Have a great evening as well. And yeah, so happy knitting, happy crocheting, happy sewing, and yarn dyeing, and all the good things you do. I'm going to go pull that chicken out of the oven and see if I burnt it, and then do some knitting with the Olympics. So have a great weekend. Bye! Oh, and let's see if I can turn things off. You get to see this live. Learning on the spot.